There's no tragic twist at the end of this. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Hello, mother? Are you down here still? Okay, she's down here still. Hello?
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Put the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
All right.
Okay.
My turn now.
Go ahead. That's me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
So place the cross under the thingamabob. And then place the nails on the console. Right? Got one more royal jelly. Insert the nails in the door. No. Oh, what? What do I...
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
I'll have to trust her.
Okay.
Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. That's for sure. This enigma deals with the life of Jesus, my mother said.
Okay, so something else.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals. These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ.
Right, but it... So, all this has to do with the... Okay, so... The back of the message is written, the correspondence of dates. What? What am I supposed to be looking for? Hold on.
Of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Okay, obviously, but I'm trying to figure out...
Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything.
Okay,
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated Roman numerals.
okay.
The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas.
So themes. We're gonna have to go to,
Chapter
birth.
2, verse 6.
2:6.
Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Teveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
So, Bethlehem 2:6. Bethlehem 2:6. It's 9:6.
Interesting.
Louis, you are doing what I've already done. I told you it wouldn't work. You need to find another subject than the birth of Christ.
But it opened up more. So could it be the death of Christ? Okay, what's the death of Christ? Resurrection, Trinity, miracles, judgment, crucifixion. I think, yeah, crucifixion.
Chapter 19, verse 17.
1917.
Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
So, Jerusalem 1917,
verse
okay.
17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th
Jerusalem
of Nisan,
1917, okay.
793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19.
Oh, I
verse
wanted to hit
17.
back.
Jesus was crucified.
I
on
wanted
the
to hit
8th of
back.
Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on it.
Okay. Alright. So, 1917. So, Jerusalem. Oh. So Jerusalem. 19. Does that not work? That not work? Hello? Okay, it did not work. Okay. So this is here to misguide you. Okay. But specific themes are missing. Could it be... on Saint Mark,
Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 14, verse 22. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed and broke it, and gave to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." And he took the cup, and when he gave thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it.
that's not it. That can't be it. Okay, okay, so hold on. Themes, birth.
Chapter 2, verse 6.
So that's not it, obviously.
Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Tebeth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
So what's this?
Chapter 2, verse 6.
Chapter 2,
And
6.
so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered of a child. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their earth by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid.
Is it
Chapter 1, verse 9.
Chapter 1:9?
Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesed,
Jordan 1:9.
852. Chapter 1, verse 9. And it came to pass in those days, Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. And coming up out of the water, he saw the heavens opened, and the Spirit like a dove descending upon him.
Guess it really doesn't hurt to figure it out. Like, try to think. Jordan 1. Nope.
Interesting.
Louis, you are doing what I've already done. I told you it wouldn't work. You need to find another subject than the birth of Christ.
But that was the baptism of Christ. Alright, okay, clearly not the birth of Christ. Okay, so we're trying to figure this out right now. Themes.
Chapter 3,
Hold on.
verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash.
Hold on. We gotta think. If this portrait is meant to mislead, so what are the things that it's not showing us? Is a baby, a birth of a child, there's a dove, there's people overlooking it that looks like there's children, there's hands above. I can't really tell what's on this darker side. Maybe a darker presence looming around. I don't even know what to think of this. Resurrection?
Chapter 24, verse 3.
24:3.
Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3000.
So Nazareth 24:3.
In Nazareth, he appeared with a halo above his head. Chapter 24, verse 3. But when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly, two men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee."
Nazareth. Wow, no way. Holy shit. That worked.
It works.
I hadn't seen those other wheels. But I don't know, I find this theme too close to the one that I used.
Well, let's analyze it. Okay, analyze the whole door.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There must surely be a connection between the wheels.
Analyze the wheel of the icon.
Different icons wheel, but it looks like some can't be connected to the other wheels.
Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
I think I can make out each one of the icons apart from the one covered in blood. Going clockwise from the one I just mentioned, we have the halo that represents the resurrection. The waves represent the baptism of Jesus. It's more difficult to identify the next one. Maybe a crib, and in that case it's surely linked to the birth of Christ.
Right.
The red herring that my mother followed. Then, the symbol represents the crown of thorns that Jesus wore during his crucifixion. The dove also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring. Then comes the symbol of the Trinity. And finally, the candle that must stand for the Last Supper.
Okay, so all right, leave this. Because now I gotta figure out... okay. So... Resurrection was...
Chapter 4,
Yeah, that was Nazareth.
verse
Okay.
3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793.
This is
in Nazareth.
kind of difficult.
He appeared
These
to
puzzles
the
always like
his
kind of get me. So resurrection would be Trinity, red herring, crucifixion, birth, baptism, Last Supper. What? Hello? Okay. So he said, going clockwise. This one kind of makes sense right here. Alright, the wheel with the dates, that has to be the middle one. Then the wheel with the moons. Just in case, I want to move the middle one in case they're all set. Okay. So right now we're gonna look for dates. Okay. I think towns.
Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash.
Wait, hold on. We gotta look at this again. Because his birth, which is this one, will be in the morning. Right? It'll be in the morning, right? My head hurts. Man. Alright. Let's make sure I got everything set for...
I think I can make out...
I want to make sure that I got the icons correct.
apart from the one covered in blood. Going clockwise from the one I just mentioned, we have the halo that represents the resurrection. Those represent the baptism.
Okay, so that's good. That one goes there.
Difficult to identify the next one. Maybe a crib, and in that case it's surely linked to the birth of Christ. The red herring that my mother followed. Then, the symbol represents the crown of thorns that Jesus wore during his crucifixion.
Right. Makes sense.
That also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring. Then comes the symbol of the Trinity.
Right.
And finally,
The Last Supper. Okay.
the candle that must stand for the Last Supper.
Searching. Now connected to Trey's Fire TV stick.
Creepy. Always has some creepy stuff going on. Okay. Alright. Time for dates. Time to look for dates. Themes. We'll go with Trinity.
Chapter 3, verse
3:18. Okay.
Words truly pronounced in Abagash.
3:18 for the resurrection. Or no, for What the one did I just hit? my gosh. I'm having a terrible memory. It must be getting late for me. Okay.
Chapter 14, verse 22.
14:22 for the Last Supper, okay.
Nisan 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem.
Okay. 14:17 for the Last Supper, which is the candle. It's in Jerusalem, which that's not lined up. What? Oh my gosh. What? I thought that would... Alright, hold on.
This wheel represents the different moons.
Right.
In the occult sciences, we represent the full moon by an X. As for the dark moon, called the new moon, in cults, it's often associated with harmful.
So...
Look at this. There are notches between the wheels.
Right.
So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Oh, well, I guess that makes it a lot. So the theme that I chosen was his resurrection. Okay. So I need the date of it. Need the date. And then, when it was. Okay. Oh boy, okay. So resurrection.
Chapter 24, verse 3.
So I need
Jesus
a date.
rose from the dead on the 14th
14th.
of Nisan, 3793 in Nazareth. He appeared with the halo of his head. Chapter 24, verse 3. But when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly 2 men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here, he has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee."
So we got 14. $29, $26, 1, 3, A, 6, 17. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. That does not make sense. You told me that...
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels.
Right.
So, they'll link the name
Name
of the town from
town.
the theme I've chosen to an icon, then
To
to
the
a
date.
and finally, the date to the moon.
Right. Makes sense. So I have the date and then the moon. But nothing... Unless that's the one with the blood on it, the one I can't see. Which could very well be a possibility. And then the moon. He rose in the morning. Okay, I guess that didn't work. That's what I'm gonna do. Just deduct it. So just go every one, since I know that's the correct theme that I picked. And I'm just going to click every one. Because it's going to have to work eventually. And I'm just going to start from that circle. Okay. Good. Now he keeps going. Because eventually one of these has to work. This would really suck if I had the wrong theme going on too. But one of these has to work, so. Oh. This is very tedious. So, how was your guys' day? Mine's going pretty well. Hopefully, this all works out. Because it should, in theory, but who knows? I don't hope I don't have to leave, like, the dialogue for it to count. Because that would just be really, really terrible. Yeah, I started with the bloodstain too. Shoot. Well, theory bust. Or did I not? I don't know. Ah, shoot. Alright. Oh. Okay. So I chose the theme. It's resurrection. Okay.
Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in
No.
Jerusalem. Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 5.
But that's not his resurrection.
Verse 2. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called, in the Hebrew tongue, Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of the blind, halting, and withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3700.
Oh, in Nazareth, wow.
In Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
That was dumb. Towns. Nazareth.
Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
Right.
Chapter 24, verse 3. When they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly 2 men clothed that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee. Chapter 24, verse 3.
I'm missing something.
But when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly, two men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed with their faces to the ground, but the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here, he has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee." Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with the halo of his head.
I'm pretty sure there was no 14th or 3. There's a 3 here. So that means the moons have to be aligned.
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme. To follow the resurrection theme, I should select the halo.
Well, no shit. That's... Motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. Guess the right moon.
According to architect's notes in the armillary sphere, the moon during the resurrection was a waxing gibbous. That's the one on which the shadow on the right is just a small crescent.
Is a small crescent. Okay. Shoot. Shadow of the moon. Small crescent. On the right. Oh, shoot. Damn it. Damn it.
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme.
Okay.
According to the architect's notes in the armillary sphere, the moon during the resurrection was a waxing gibbous. That's the one on which the shadow on the right is just a small crescent.
Okay, so I have the correct... Alright, so basically it's just the date now. What? Okay. This doesn't make any sense now. Wouldn't it... Wouldn't... Okay. Okay.
Let's see what combination.
Just making sure I heard that right. The shadow of it, of the moon,
according to the architect's notes in the armillary,
is on the right.
The moon during the resurrection was a waxing gibbous. That's the one on which the
shadow
on the right is just a small crescent.
Which the black part is the shadow. Makes a lot of sense. Unless... that would only leave this as an option. Which it shouldn't be that. Alright. There we go. Shadow on the right. Okay. So maybe I actually have to discover what the date is. Which, I guess, clever game to prevent you from doing anything dumb like me.
Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus from the dead, on the 4th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth, he appeared with the blood of his head.
Okay. The 14th, is that... There's 13 and the 1. Okay. What? The 14th of Nisan in 3793, which can go to either the date of 13 or negative 607, which that's just ridiculous, or 1 in 33. Or is that 1 4 33? Which still doesn't make sense, because regardless of the fact that none of these options are working. Unless I analyzed the date wrong.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. The shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon. The moon shadow moves from west to east. The 13th of Shaban, 607, waxing gibbous.
Okay, so... Oh my gosh, okay. With the shadow on the right. Okay, makes sense, duh. So what date am I... What number am I missing? Hey, you. Can you help me?
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed one nail in Bethlehem, one in chapter 2, one in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Beneath the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
Alright, so we don't do that.
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
Okay, that was no help. So what are these... Hello? Can I leave? Let me leave this dialogue, please. I need to figure out what those numbers are. No? What do these numbers mean?
this. There are notches between each of the wheels. Oh, I have to name of the town from the theme I've chosen.
Right, no, I know that. I meant hit the dates.
And finally, the date to the moon. This wheel contains several symbols made up of 1 or 2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date.
So I need April 1st, which would be 1A. Which is that? Oh, shit. Oh. My hand's gonna get cut off.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Oh, my lord. Okay. I lost my arm. That... I don't know where I went wrong on that one. Was I meant to lose my arm? Like, I don't even know. Oh my, no. No, no, no. I lost my arm. Oh shit, man. It's definitely not good. That's fuck. Oh, I feel terrible. Oh no. Well, that's it. That's it for episode 3. Holy shit, I lost my arm. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed playing it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a like or a comment and tell me what you thought of it. Tell me what I completely missed, because obviously I need it. Oh man, oh man, I feel so terrible. But it said there's no alternate path, so like I felt that no matter what I did, I was going to lose my arm. There was no alternative path. Like, I failed it. Like, I solved the first circle. I think it gives you that illusion, but I don't know. Like, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Just let me know what you guys think.
Just run away with your time.